Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes news video. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently this time around. The devs have recently just decided to start dropping news when they feel like it. Big news, small news, doesn't matter. They just drop it in their own time. And I think it makes more sense for me to do a few slightly smaller news videos than one absolutely gigantic catastrophic news video as you might normally expect me to do. So let's start off today with the Dr. Stone Feature Festival, the second ever feature festival for the series, and it covers the Battle for Corn City arc, which according to the wiki is not the actual name of the arc. The name of the arc is the New America City arc, which is the first arc of the Truth of the Petrification saga. Now obviously this is actually quite a big jump from the last feature festival. The last feature festival focused on the battle with Tsukasa and then Hyoga, I guess. And we've skipped quite far ahead, I would say. But I think the main reason for that is because two very prominent characters in this arc, who actually ended up being the limiteds for this arc, Dr. Zeno and Ryusui, I think most people would agree those were two of the most highly anticipated characters from this series. So it makes sense to jump ahead to here, I think. Some may disagree. First things first, urgent notice about the errors and the problems and stuff. At this point, I would imagine if you've encountered this, you've either solved it or you've just stopped playing the game. But basically, they completely messed up the game. People were unable to log in. There was people that were able to log in, but their account was gone, or they logged in and their rubies were gone. There were so many problems. If you're still having any of those problems, or you've just lost access to your account completely, go to the website, link in the description, and you can go and follow the steps to fix your account. Absolute nightmare. I think I will touch on that in another video, but don't know what they were planning. Ruined my day, I can tell you that. Anyway, the Dr. Stone login bonus. We get the acceleration ticket for free, which means a free version 1 Senku. Very nice. And we get the corn cob, rubies, and stamina tankards, as well as some Dr. Stone gacha tickets. So an actual proper login bonus this time, which is pretty good. Pretty good. The free Senku is obviously very nice. Word of warning, probably hold on to this if you already have Senku max luck. Doesn't matter if you've already fed him. I've already fed mine. But I'll make another video later talking about the update they announced this morning, I guess. Which may mean that these dupes are quite valuable. We don't know yet, but yeah, probably probably hold on to that if you haven't used it already. Then we have the Corn Cob Gacha, which is the premium gacha from this event, and the Dr. Stone Gacha, which is the premium gacha from the last event. So make sure to do all your free summons on these, and remember, just like I said, any dupes you have, if the character's already max luck, max skill, probably hold on to those dupes. Then we have the bingo, which at this point is already completed. If you log in and you haven't already got these rewards, then you will get these rewards. Nothing special there, so nothing to get too excited about, but some free summons and stuff. Then we have the daily stage, which is not actually a daily stage. It's some weird thing where they release a new stage every day, but only for 10 days. I don't know. But just clear the 10 stages of this event and you get some stuff. You don't get a lot for this. So it's up to you whether you want to do it, I guess. But if you're a new player, go ahead. And then we have the Max Luck Special Reward campaign. Now, I do have a bone to pick with the devs here. This is almost exactly the same as the World Trigger one. If you played during the World Trigger event, you'll know it was a slightly smaller event, slightly shorter event. Only introduced 7 characters to the game, and for completing these rewards, you got 5 premium summons on the new gacha, and you got 300 rubies. For this event, which has the same amount of farmables, 4 farmables, for getting those 4 farmables to max luck, bear in mind, this is covering a longer period of time. You get those 4 to max luck, and you get 100 rubies. And 1 premium summon, which, in my opinion, kind of sucks. Kind of wish they hadn't done that, but at this point, who knows what's going on. So, just take what you can get and make sure you get the characters to max luck. Now let's talk about the new farmables. We've got 4 new farmables. No new legend summon, just characters. We have Charlotte Bonnie from Dr. Stone, which arguably, as a choice of catastrophe class character, some would argue she basically doesn't do anywhere near enough to deserve the role of catastrophe class event, but they decided to downgrade, I don't know. They made Stanley a gacha. Whether he was intended to be an event unit at some point, I don't know, but Stanley seemed like a very obvious choice if Zeno is not going to be chosen as a catastrophe. And well, Stanley is not and Zeno is not. Instead it is Charlotte. Now the sprite is nice, don't get me wrong, and I mean, it's fine, it's a fine character inclusion, but a weird choice for a catastrophe. Of course she gets a costume, which, you know, good for her. Good for her, I guess. Then we have the points event, which sees you farming points to earn yourself copies of Taiju and some other rewards. This is the version of Taiju I would have expected them to add to the game. We got that other version of Taiju early in the year. I don't know how or why that choice was made, but I'm just happy he's in the game. I didn't really care which version it was. I probably would have preferred this one, and so this one being free when the other one's gacha feels a bit weird, but it's fine, you know, it is what it is. And I know some people can't stand the amount of version 2s we get, and sometimes I'm definitely on board with it, and here it does feel a bit of a weird one, but you know, it is what it is, and he's only taken up a free slot, so I'm not too bothered about it. Then we have the Elegant Points campaign. Now, so far, I have not finished the event yet. Obviously, we've still got a little while left, but so far, the point gain on this is horrific. Absolutely horrific. Now, there is potentially an event coming up, which I may talk about in another video, and there is some other stuff coming up that may facilitate us using a lot more stamina and therefore earning a lot more of these points, but getting the rewards for this is going to be quite a grind. You're going to have to use quite a lot of stamina, and I don't think it's worth it at all. Like, or maybe, well, the jewel fragments, I guess, but getting the emblems, which are like sort of posted as the main selling point of this, getting those, not worth it. I mean, it's never really worth it, but in this particular scenario, very much not worth it. Then we have our third farmable character, which is Nikki Hanada. Now, I can see why some people maybe weren't the biggest fan of this choice, because there's still some huge Dr. Stone characters not added in, and she is one of the slightly more peripheral characters, but bear in mind she does help establish Corn City, and she is sort of the representative from Senku's side for Corn City, so at least for this arc, I can kind of let it slide. I quite like the character, I quite like her inclusion, I think the sprite looks pretty good. But definitely, if you're a Dr. Stone fan, you'll know characters like Kaseki still not in the game. And then also we've got Ryusui this event, no Francois. A bit strange, but you know, I don't hate this for a choice of Transcendent class event. And we get a stamp, which I've tried my best to try and include the translations for the stamps, because I know most people who are playing probably don't know what the stamps say, so at least to give you some sort of idea, though some of them are straight up useless. I think the one in the last event that just said eggplant curry, like in what context would I use that? But it's still cool, I guess. It's still like a quote from the series, and this is probably one of the more useful stamps, I guess, but nonetheless. And then we have Luna, who is obviously a key figure in this arc, so yeah, it makes sense she'd be added in this event, and to be honest, pretty damn happy with her inclusion. Sprite looks good, not much more to say there, and yeah, again, a stamp that I probably wouldn't have much use for. Then we have this event, which gives you an emblem, which I probably wouldn't use, and a stamp. Truly Elegant might actually get some use, I don't know, but this event in particular gives you rubies. Now, I have said in the past, I really do want them to make it so that you get some sort of decent reward for clearing these stages, rather than just a stamp or an emblem. In this case, you have got some rubies. I think that's pretty good. The downside is we've got these rubies at the expense of rubies elsewhere. So it's essentially as if they're making us work harder for the same reward. And that's not what I meant. I meant to give us slightly more rewards in exchange for working harder, rather than making us work harder for what you were already giving us for free. That's silly. That's just silly. So maybe that's something I'll work on in the future. I don't know. Knowing these devs, maybe not. But yeah, okay. They're almost there. They almost understand what we're looking for. So it's fine, I guess. And then we have the Dr. Stone Tower boost, which I will not be doing much during. Don't forget to bring your Dr. Stone characters in Tower if you want to get some boosted points. And then we have our gacha. Now, both the limiteds on the same gacha. It's been like that 2 events running. Are we going to see that as a more common thing moving forward? I don't know. But we do have 2 standard gacha. Now, we had sort of moved away from 2 standard gacha for a little while. We were starting to think they were just going to stop doing it. But we do indeed have 2 here. 2 very solid picks, I would say. I would argue Stanley did, to at least me, make a lot more sense as like an event unit. But, you know, it's fine. I mean, potentially you could use him as an event unit again later, because he does stay as a sort of antagonist for a significant period of the remainder of this saga. So, potentially. And Yuzuriha, I've said I really wanted her added to the game. I didn't care what it was. I didn't care if it was an event unit. I didn't care if it was a gacha or whatever. I was down, and there she is. So I am very, very happy. She is gacha, so that's very cool. And I can't really complain about the gacha in general. Very happy with Ryusui. I said he should be added, and I said he should be limited. Zeno is a bit of a surprise as limited, but, you know, it is what it is. I guess, hypothetically, if we're still in the period where they were taking events that were basically already finished and they were promoting one character from that event to be a limited, because originally limiteds were going to be 1 per event, and for the last half a year or so it's been 2 per event, then I guess Zeno made the most sense to be promoted to limited in that situation. Alternatively, maybe they planned for him to be a limited, but I really don't think so. But it's still very cool that they've been added. I think both these characters deserve to be in the game from the series. 2 of the most anticipated characters from the series to be added. And yeah, all the sprites look pretty good. Stanley looks a little bit weird. It's not that the sprite looks bad, it just sometimes it doesn't look like him, and I can't really work out why. But all the other ones look just like the characters pretty much. Zeno still sometimes looks a little bit odd, but is mostly okay. But yeah, a lot of the animations are pretty cool as well. So I'm not too bothered. And then we have the gacha format, which I've got to say, yeah, okay, the 15 multi thing is a pain in the ass, but if you're happy to get either of the limiteds, then this is not a bad format. The one downside, I would say, is that on the 12th multi, it is a guaranteed hero grade featured unit. It's not a choice ticket. That should be a choice ticket, in my opinion. Purely because you could go the whole way. You could get Zeno, you could get Ryusui, you could get one of these, Stanley, let's say, and you could still miss out on Yuzuriha. And that's not really how it should be. If I go all the steps, I should get all the units. If you're going to give me 2 guaranteed 5-star hero grade units, I should get 1 of each. I shouldn't be getting any dupes there. That's my opinion. I feel like they have done it before in the past where you could get a choice ticket there. They haven't done it this time. So the devs tinkering with the gacha format in a way that I don't like. What an absolute shock. But still, not the worst format we've ever seen. Then we have the returning limited and hero gacha. Now, this is actually a slightly different version to one we've had in recent events, and I'm actually kind of okay with it. Because this one, if you missed out on Senku in the past, you'll be able to get Senku on the 10th multi, which granted 10 multis for a unit that used to cost 9 is not ideal. But now you will be getting a guaranteed Dr. Stone unit on the 6th multi. So it's at least something. I kind of wish it was Dr. Stone unit on the 3rd multi as well. I don't know why that's just random guaranteed 5-star. But it is what it is. One thing I forgot to mention, I don't know if I wrote it in the news post. It doesn't look like I did. Wow. I forgot. This gacha, it is missing units from 2018 and 2019. They've been removed from the gacha. Now, there are many reasons you could speculate about this, but for the most part, this does seem like a good thing, because, you know, that means if you pull a 5-star, it's going to be a 2019, a 2020 or 2021 hero, or it'll be one of the new units. So that's, generally speaking, that's an improvement. Whether there's some sinister reasons behind what they're doing there, I don't know, but for now, I've got to say it's okay. It's okay. And then, yes, the third Jumputi... Why have I not put that as a heading? That's poor from me. The third Jumputi fan selection gacha, this ended up being a bit of... what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's just... It's crap. It's not what I wanted at all. Yeah, it's got some cool units featured on it, but the ticket that everybody got doesn't give you a guaranteed limited, which I kind of expected, but regardless, I can't remember if the ones in the past did. I think the ones in the past probably didn't give you a guaranteed limited either, but it still just feels like a bit of a letdown. You voted for which one you want to see, and then the event came around and you got a ticket and you got nothing. You got nothing to show for it, and you can summon on this gacha. And to be fair, if you really want one of these units, then it's only 10 multis to get a choice ticket and you can choose one. And on the way up, you get a free multi and you have a chance of getting all these other units. So it's not too bad, but it's nothing incredible. And then, yeah, this pack, which is definitely not worth buying. 1,200 yen, and you get one of those tickets that gives you a multi, and it's just like a random unit. It's like, here's all the featured units, you get one random 5-star. Not related to those ones above. It might be one of them, if you're lucky. And then, yeah, just a bunch of sales packs. I mean, generally speaking, this sales pack is... it's not horrific value. Pretty much everything else is horrific value. There's pretty much nothing else worth mentioning. And then we have the We Never Learn stuff, which I'm hoping is going to lead into the next event, because obviously we do have the Nisekoi stuff going on in the next event. So we'll see with that one. And at this point, you've missed out on the birthday gachas, unfortunately. And we have the countdown gacha, which actually look pretty good, but we're not 100% confirmed on the format. That could change, so not worth mentioning too much there. The copy gacha, which is probably not worth summoning on. This gacha, which is out now, which is not worth summoning on. This gacha is actually not bad value, which I believe is either out now or it's coming out tomorrow. Which is not horrific value. And then the sales packs, which are almost entirely, completely 100% not worth. These packs are sort of interesting. Normally when it says super battle ready, it means that the character comes max skill. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. When I say max skill, when it says battle ready, it normally means level 6. When it says super battle ready, that normally means level 12. But moving forward, that could mean something entirely different, or it could just mean level 6 and they're just showing off for the pack title. I don't know. But intriguing, certainly intriguing. And this pack is only worth mentioning because it has gone down in price. The only difference between this pack and the last time they did one of these packs is that last time the characters came battle ready, which just means their skill level is up to 6. It's not like they've had any dupes or anything. There's nothing special about that. But the amount of rubies you got was the same, the amount of jewels you got was the same, and the ticket you got was basically the same. And that cost 12,800 yen. Now down to 9,800. Maybe a sign of things to come. Maybe the prices will drop in the future, but probably not. And then we have the Christmas reprints, which is hopefully a sign of a very nice Christmas event. And just terrible, 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 terrible. And we're done. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back with another video relatively soon. I don't exactly know when, but we have a lot to talk about, and we will definitely be getting more in depth on those other topics in those other videos. But until then, I will see you guys next time.